Hi everyone, welcome to our first journaling class. My name is Mackenzie Davidson and I'm really excited to be leading you through this 10-week course. So if you received one of the bags with the supplies, you're going to want to grab that and find a good spot that you think is going to be helpful for you to work at. I'd like you to grab your journal, obviously, and then your pack of supplies that has the pens, your ruler, there's washi tape, there's a glue stick and sharpener. All those things are in your bag. You're going to want to grab stencils as well. So today we're going to be doing an all about me page on the first page. So if you would like to work with pencil first, that is a personal choice. If you'd like to start with pen, that's what I'm going to be doing. And we're just going to go really slow, and if I am going too fast, you can pause the video and get back to it when you are ready. And also, if you want to take some of my ideas and leave some of them, that's totally fine. This is your journal. You can do whatever you'd like with it. So I'm just going to move the camera so that you can see what I am doing. So I've got my journal, I've got my supplies, and I'm going to open it up to the first page. So on the first page, we are going to be, let me bring you down a little bit. Okay, hopefully you can see now. The first page is an all about me page, so I'm going to write all about me in block letters at the front. So block letters are a little tricky. If you want to start with a pencil, that might help you. So I just am looking at the letters, so I know I'm going to do a capital A here. So it's just a slanted line and bring it back down. So basically create a triangle. And then I have a little triangle at the top. And then I'm going to fill it in like so to create a bubble letter. So I'm going to keep doing that to create my bubble letters. So I need to create a capital L and then another capital L. You could, now that I've written all, you could use a different type of writing style to write about. I'm going to stick with bubble letters just because I want to keep it consistent, but you could totally stick to a different type of font or writing. So I'm going to keep writing about in bubble letters. All. I like this idea of having the first page be about you, about the writer or journaler or artist, all those things. So I'm just taking my time and writing out the letters. And so don't worry about messing up, just take your time. If I don't think I can fit me here, I could decide where I want to put the rest of my title for this page. So I think I actually will squeeze it in at the top of the page, but if you run out of space, that is no big deal. Think about where else it could go. And you can think about maybe coloring it later or leaving it blank. That is up to you. I like to add little dashed lines in my letters, almost to make it look like they have form. So I just pick random spots to add my little dashed lines in my bubble letters. Sometimes I like to do it in if my letter is curved, there are curved lines within it. That's where I add the letters. Sometimes I do it in the corners. I really just pick random spots and add little lines. All about me at the top. So now that we've got that, you might want to grab your ruler, and so we can get some straight lines here. So right below, I'm going to add a little box right below the word all, I'm going to measure like 1.5 inch line because I want to create a little box. I like how that looks when there are little random blocks throughout the page. It sort of creates more movement within all the writing. So if you want to be doing this at the same time as me, and I'll just write name above the box, and then I'm going to write I all in capitals next to it. You could do lowercase. This is just what I would like to do. Am. And then I'm going to do a circle next to am. And then write years old. Within this little circle, I can fill in my age, which you're about to find out. I'm 27. Okay, so maybe I want to add a little bit more doodles around here. That is up to you. I'm going to write my name within my box, taking my time. I want my letters to look good, especially because I'm writing with a pen. I like to take just a little bit longer. So I wrote my name. I am blank years old. You could do a little doodle. That's really what makes bullet journaling or journaling distinct. There's always little doodles throughout. Like I said, if I'm going too fast, you can pause. So the next section, I'm going to write where I live. And think about the way that your letters are going to look. What types of different letters do you want to use? You could look up different font styles and try to create those font styles in your journal. I'm using a certain type of writing right now where I box off parts of my letters and create the rest of the letter with line. I wrote the wrong thing because I was talking, so I'm going to change it because you make mistakes all the time when you're journaling. Don't worry about making a mistake. You can always fix it. I wrote I love instead of I live, so then I wrote something in instead and wrote I love dogs. And that's what happens when you're talking and demonstrating. Sometimes you make mistakes. So I'm just going to add another little doodle, and that doodle is going to be a paw print. And that's okay because that is true. And this page is all about me, and I'll write where I live in a different spot. So now I'm going to go below that and create a box below this part. So I'm using my ruler again. And I'm going to create like a 2.5 inch long line. And another 2.5 inch long line. And you really want to make sure they line up before you commit to drawing it. So if one's a little bit shorter than the other, even it out. You can make your box look 3-dimensional by adding more lines below it. So by that, I mean, I'm going to go to the bottom corner. I'm actually going to 3 out of the 4 corners and drawing small diagonal lines. And then I'm going to connect them to make my box look like it has form. Within those little sections that I've just drawn, I'm going to add dashed lines at an angle and connect those 2 parallel lines. Because like I said, it makes the box look like it has form if one side is shaded. And it's not technically shaded, but it appears that way because it's darker now. So I could just randomly write or draw things that I like. So maybe I'll do another box down here and I'll do dashed lines. And you can be thinking about what types of different things or symbols or drawings that you're going to include. Maybe you want to include your favorite hobby. Maybe you love music and you want to include music notes. Maybe you love dancing and you want to include whatever type of dance you use. You could do a ballet slipper. You could do a symbol for hip hop. If you're an athlete and you want to include the type of sport that you play. So now I've included a dashed box and another type of box. And you can write whatever types of things you want in here. You could write where you live. Maybe I'll write Kennebunkport, Maine, because that's where I currently live. Kennebunkport with a comma, and then I'm gonna write M-E in box or bubble letters. So like I said, I'm taking my time when I'm drawing my letters because I want them to be neat. And I'm writing with a pen so I can't erase. So I wrote Kennebunkport, Maine with my zip code. Maybe on the side over here I will draw some things that I like. So I'm going to draw a coffee cup. Maybe it's a hot cocoa cup for you. Maybe it's not a coffee cup. Maybe you hate coffee. I started with an ellipse. I connected it. And then I'm going to add a circle below my cup and a little semicircle, like a backward C, for the handle. I'm just going to draw little doodles of things that I like. Those things might be different than what you like, and that's okay. I also like to add little faces to my doodles. That is a personal choice. You do not have to do that. So I've got my coffee cup. I've got a dog print over here. What else do I love? I love art, so maybe I will include a paint palette, which is sort of like a lima bean shape. Kind of looks like a wonton right now. And then I'm going to do some circles around my palette with a little paintbrush next to it. Like I said, if I'm going too fast, you can press pause. And then let's see, what other things? I can be adding, things that I like in this dashed box. So I like reading. I like walking. That's something I've been doing a lot since quarantine. And then I'll write one more thing that I like to do. I like baking. So I wrote 3 hobbies that I have in the dashed box. And I still have this space over here, so maybe I want to grab my stencils and include some more doodles. Like I said, your doodles are going to be different than my doodles, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to do this sun and cloud stencil. Some of the tinier spots are harder to get in with my pen. I could also add them by drawing them later. Don't have to use the stencil. Let's see, what other things do I want to include? I want to include, I could be writing vertically. I don't just have to write horizontally. I'm going to add some hearts in a spot that is blank. Maybe I will include a book over here since I said that that is what I enjoy to do. So to draw a book looking like it's open, I start with a triangle and then extend one of the lines and bring it down. And then I do the same thing on the other side. So another triangle with the line extended, connected almost to make a big M, a wide M. And then right here to create the binding, use 2 lines to split the M in half. And then you can create your pages. By using zigzag lines on the inside of the M. Maybe I want to include a cupcake. So I'm going to draw a small little ellipse and then another ellipse on top. And then I want to do like almost like a petal or a teardrop shape on the top. And then the bottom will be 2 parallel lines that's connected. So then I want to add the outer part of the cupcake, the wrapper, by using straight lines. So I've got walking. This is the symbol because it's just a weather symbol. Reading and baking. So this is my All About Me page. I could use my colored pens to start to fill them in. So we can do that together. I could use my stencils and maybe add, maybe I think I'll do that. I'll use my stencils to add some triangles along the side. Like I said, you can pretend that these are sort of like stickers because they come out pretty much the exact same. I'm going to turn my book upside down and put the triangles facing in another direction and start to fill in those triangles again so they're going in another direction to sort of pull the whole page together. So this is my first All About Me page. I've got my name. I've got some doodles at the top, my age, where I live, and things that I love to do. So now it's time to color. You have different colored pens than I have. You can color these with those pens, or you can create patterns with these pens. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the purple to fill in some stripes on some of these hearts. It seems like these pens would be good for drawing more than coloring. But that might be just me. Maybe I'll color in some of these small triangles with this bright green pen. They are very colorful. The pigment is very strong, and I like that. I also like how fine tipped they are. It seems like these would be good for writing. But maybe you want to grab some markers to finish coloring in some of the lettering that we drew, or some of the doodles that we drew. You also can color or draw with these pens that are things that are not drawn with your pen or pencil, and just sort of add to it. If you did use pencil, you will want to go over your pencil with pen or a Sharpie. But beware about the Sharpie because it could blend or bleed into the next page. So just be careful about that. So I'm just going to go ahead and color some of my page with these doodle pens. You can color your page however you want. It does not have to look like my page. If you did something completely different, that is totally cool with me. I just wanted to get you excited about journaling, and I hope this helped. So I will do something completely different next week, but I hope you enjoyed our first page, and I hope you have fun coloring your All About Me page. See you next week, friends.